بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone to our first lesson regarding the Arabic reading course. Now, we're going to make this lesson as short as possible. And just before we get into the lesson, I just wanted to talk about a few things regarding the Arabic language, especially regarding the script. So the alphabet, which we're going to start with, we're going to start right from the beginning. It consists of 28 letters. 28 letters. And each letter has its own distinctive shape. One thing we have to bear in mind when it comes to Arabic language is the Arabic language is written from right to left. That's the first thing we need to get our heads around. In the beginning, it's kind of like, oh, this is strange. But believe me, with time, it just becomes second nature. You don't even think about it. The script that we're going to be learning in this course is called the Uthmani script. It's one of the famous scripts which is used to write the Quran. There are also other scripts like the Indo-Pak script. However, in this course, we're going to focus on the Uthmani script. Another thing we have to bear in mind that Arabic language doesn't have capital letters like English does, right? So that's quite an interesting fact. So all the letters, they're basically written in the same size, more or less. Arabic does have a cursive style, but that's more handwritten. It's referred to as ruqa'ah. Later on in your Arabic studies, that's something you can learn, the ruqa'ah style, which is used more in handwriting. However, we're going to focus on the standard way that Arabic is used in the Uthmani script. Also, another thing that's going to be interesting, which we'll see later on in the course, is letters can change shape depending if they're at the beginning, middle, or end of the letter. We'll get into that in the subsequent lessons, inshallah. Another interesting thing about the Arabic language is that or about the Arabic script, is actually impacted so many other languages like Urdu, Persian, Pashto, Malay. They actually have a script very similar to the Arabic script. And there were actually other countries as well, or other languages that used to write in the Arabic script as well. And then for whatever reason, they then changed to the Roman script. So we don't want to waste too much time. We just want to get straight in. So what we're going to do, we're going to go straight to alphabet, inshallah. So if we take a look here, and don't worry about this text, I'm just going to kind of write the transliteration regarding the pronunciation of these letters. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first of all, we're going to go through the pronunciation of these letters, and then we're going to go through them again very quickly. And what I would like you to do for homework is basically memorize the alphabet in order. First, we're going to memorize it in order and focus on memorizing the pronunciation. After the lesson, you will send the recording of you reading the alphabet, and then that will be marked. So I make sure it's from memory. So in this lesson, if you see I've got text here, I'm just going to write some transliteration so you can kind of get to grips with how it's pronounced. However, in the PDF that you would download, it will not have the transliteration, and I urge you to read this without looking at the transliteration. So the first letter we have here is called Alif. Alif, right? I'm just going to write here like Alif. That's the first letter. So I want you to look very carefully at the shape. Alif. 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 The second letter we have is Ba. Now what I want you to pay attention to is the shape. The shape and the fact it has a dot underneath. That's Ba. Ba. So your two lips come together and you say Ba. Ba. Next letter is Ta. 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 Notice the same shape as Ba. The same shape. However, this has two dots on the top. When I was memorizing it, I just remember, okay, two dots is Ta. Ta for two. So yeah, that's how I memorize it. So what I want you to pay attention, if you just look at, now ta in Arabic is not like, when I was first learning how to read, I actually learned incorrectly. They said ta is just like how we say T in Arabic, in English, T or two, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not exactly the same pronunciation. Ta in Arabic, you use, if you imagine this is my tongue, right? This is my tongue. You use this section of the tongue and it just touches, if this is the upper palate here on my mouth, it just touches the upper palate. Ta. Ta. I'm going to come close to the camera here. If you see my tongue here, I'm going to put it here in the upper palate, just away from the teeth, and it's just up here. I'm just going to say ta, 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 instead of ta, ta. You notice the difference? There's a difference between ta and ta, ta, ta. So it's a very ta, ta, ta. You just have to focus on the tongue just coming up, and don't push your tongue. Don't forcefully push your tongue up. Just focus on making the pronunciation come from that part of the mouth, and naturally the tongue will go up by itself. So ta, ta, ta. And the reason why I'm emphasizing that is because I want you to memorize it correctly. I had a lot of time undoing the pronunciation later on. So there's a difference between tata and tata. Ta is very English, tata, and it'll become obvious then when we get to words like there's a difference between tatakallam and tatakallam. Ta. So it's very subtle difference. However, if for now your ta is kind of English, it's not the end of the world, right? But if you can get it from now, just say ta, ta, ta. That'd be fantastic. So ta. That's the shape. The next one, which should be easy for us, is tha. So notice we have ba, ta, and tha. Tha has 3 dots on the top. 3 dots. Tha. Then we have the next one, jeem. So notice now the shape has changed. Just pay attention to the shape. When you see that shape and a dot in the middle there, we're going to say jeem. J. I think j is quite an easy pronunciation for English speakers. J. Jeem. Be careful. Some people say jeem, like a j sound. But the correct pronunciation is j, jeem. It comes from the middle of the tongue, just coming up, jeem. Next one is ha. Now, ha is going to be challenging for some people. Ha is where you emit some air, and it comes from the middle of the throat here. Middle of the throat. I remember when I was learning, it's like your pants, you say, that's actually a part of a sound in Arabic. Ha. In the beginning, some people will push too much hair and they'll say, ha, and they're trying to push too much air. What you need to focus on is just like a very, very subtle pant. I'm exaggerating, so I'm going to be looking weird right now. I'm exaggerating so that you can kind of understand. You need to get that air out. So it's from here. I can't get my throat. Here in the middle of the throat, you're going to... I just want you to get that initial sound. And then you say, ha. So you just got to get the air out from the beginning. Ha. So I really want you to focus on ha. Okay? Ha. So make sure you're repeating after me. Ha. Then the next one is kha. Now, kha, this letter is in some other languages as well. Kha is, I'm going to exaggerate the sound, right? Just so you can kind of get an idea where the sounds come from. Kha is like, got my film coming up. Yeah, I don't usually pronounce my khas like that. I'm exaggerating for you guys. Kha. Is it like a... It's from... It's just a little bit above in the throat, the back of the throat here. Right? And you're just going to say... Kha. I want you to get the initial sound before the A comes out. Kha. I don't even know what to compare the sound to, but just it's in the back of the throat and you kind of just right? Now, once you kind of get used to where that sound's coming from, I want you to say it really softly and just say ha. You see, I didn't exaggerate and I said I really pushed that sound down. I just said ha. And that took me that took not a long time, but I was saying my ha wrong for a long time. I was saying ha, like really exaggerating it. But it's very light. All of the letters in general, you need to just touch them lightly and just say ha. Another thing you gotta notice that when we say ba, ta, tha, it was an ah sound. Ah, light. Ha is heavy. You're saying ah. So ha. Cool. Then the next letter is dal. Dal, quite easy. Dal is, again, around the tip of the tongue, coming up, and just saying da. Dal. Quite, just look at the shape though. I want you to look at that shape. Dal. The next one is dhal. Now, dhal is the tip of the tongue touching the upper teeth here, and is a vibrant sound. Yeah, there. Close to saying there is similar. If you say over there, some people might say over there, especially if you're from my background, like an urban background. It's like, what's that? We say that and there, but the correct pronunciation is like there. So dhal, you get the vibrant sound at the beginning. Dhal. So look at the shape. Dal. What's the difference here? Dal and dhal look exactly the same, but dhal has a dot on the top. So pay attention to that. Same with Jim here. Jim, the dot's in the middle. Ha, there's no dot. Same shape but no dot. Kha, the dot's on the top. Dal, no dot. Dhal. So next one, ra. Now, I used to get confused between ra and dal. Right? So ra just goes down a little bit. I just want you to look at the shape. Just pay attention to that. Now, ra for a lot of people is difficult. It's the rolling of the tongue. Some people are used to rolling the tongue if they speak Spanish, for example. And what you have to do in the beginning is get used to rolling your tongue, right? And rolling your tongue is basically letting it hit the upper palate more than once. But I'm exaggerating the rolling now for learning purposes. Later on, you learn how to just roll it once and say ra. For now, you can kind of just say and I want you just to let the tongue hit the upper palate. Some people naturally can do it, and some people need practice. But what I want you to try and do is roll that tongue. Roll the tongue. Ra. I used to look at machine guns like So in the beginning, when you learn the alphabet, you have to exaggerate just so your tongue and the muscles of your throat get used to the sounds. Then you can make it light and just say ra. So if you look at my tongue here, I'm saying ra. If I'm exaggerating the roll, I'm going to say ra. Right? That's if I'm exaggerating, but the correct pronunciation is just once. Ra. Cool. Then the next one is zai. Some people pronounce it as za. Zai is zai. It's more zai. So put like an I, Zai, Zai. It doesn't really matter how I write in English. The main thing you know how to say. Zai. Look at Zai. It looks very similar to Ra, but just has a dot on the top. So we have Ra, Zai. Now, I just want to take a little break there. Once we're memorizing these sounds, I want you to kind of, you could do it line by line, or you do it by like the group of shapes by shapes. So concentrate on just saying alif, ba, ta, tha, without transliteration. So you get ba, ta, tha right. Then jim, ha, kha. Focus on getting that right. Dal and dhal together. Ra and zai together. Zai. Zai. Next one, in terms of English pronunciation, those who speak English, is easy. Seen. Seen. So just look at this shape. I really want you to memorize these shapes. You have to read this so many times. Seen. Seen. At the end of this video, inshallah, I'll just read it straight through. And I want you to mark where I'm going to read it from. And you can just loop that part, or just keep going back to that part and practicing with me. Seen. Seen. Now, one thing I want to point out is you see the E. I need it to be a E sound and not like a seen, like a lazy English in. It needs to be in, E. I want the E to be very distinctive. Seen has to be extremely distinctive. Seen, it's not seen, like I've seen him, seen. It's not that is not distinctive. E is distinctive. Seen. Now look here, we have the same shape but 3 dots on the top, and we say sheen. Don't forget the E. So we have here seen, sheen. Next one, sod. Look at that shape. Sod. Now notice, and we've got this in orange. These are called heavy letters. Notice it's more of an R sound and an A sound. These ones in orange, they're heavy letters. We say sod. So remember we had this seen. It's very light. Sod. If this is with the tongue, the back of this tongue actually rises. And you may not feel it, but this is what's happening in the back of your mouth. The back of the tongue actually rises like, it's kind of hard to, if this is the back of the tongue, actually rises like this. Actually rises at the back. That's how you create that or sound. So it's saw, sod, sod, or. I want you to concentrate on getting that or sound out and say sod, right? Now we have the same shape but with a dot on the top. And this is Lod. Now, Lod is the hardest letter to pronounce. It's the hardest letter to pronounce, right? But in short, you have the back side of your tongue at the back. Some people use both sides at the back. Some say you can use one side, and that touches the back teeth at the top and pronounces that. There's like air gets filled in the back of the mouth, and you say Lod, right? A lot of people will pronounce Lod as like a dal, but make it heavy, like say Dod. But we need to concentrate on trying to get the pressure coming from the back of the mouth and saying Lod, right? Then the next one we got Ta. Now Ta is gonna look like Ta now, so I don't even know how to even make this heavy. Maybe we could put like that looks like 2, so we're gonna have to put like a Ta, and I'm just gonna put brackets heavy, yeah, so make it heavy. So Ta is different from Ta. So if you remember up here, we said ba, ta, tha. Ta is the same thing like Lod. The back of the tongue is coming up. And you have to concentrate on saying ta. It has a very, it's like an elastic sound. Ta. Right? Ta has a very elastic sound. And the way that's created is the back of the tongue comes up and it creates an sound. And if you're pronouncing ta properly, what I notice, if you're pronouncing ta properly, like from the tip of the tongue, like I told you before, the tip of the tongue coming up like this, if you're pronouncing that properly, the ta becomes easier. But if I pronounce ta like ta, and I try and say ta, you see how it becomes ta, and it's not ta, because my tongue is in the wrong place, right? So we don't want to say t, like from the teeth, like ta. It's not ta. You put the tongue there, ta, and we let the pressure build up and say ta. Next one is the, and I'm just going to put brackets H for heavy, yeah? You can remember this, and you're not going to write this down anyway. You could write down on PDF, but I don't want you to read from this. I want you to read without the transliteration. The is similar to dal that we took before. We said dal, similar, but so we get the vibration sound. We say th, but the same thing's happening. This back is coming up, back of the tongue's coming up. And we're saying the, right? Be careful not to say th, right? You need that vibrating sound. Say the, yeah, the. Then we have Ain, my favorite letter. This was my favorite, not my favorite letter. It was one of the most difficult letters when I was learning the alphabet. Ain. Now that Ain, the sound comes from the middle of the throat. It comes from the middle of the throat, right? And what happens is your larynx in your throat contracts. And in the beginning, you have to exaggerate Ain. You have to exercise these muscles here. Then you can make it lighter later on. So it's literally like, imagine you're getting strangled. You'll be like, that's where the muscles are coming. That's where the sound's coming from. I have to exaggerate in the beginning just so my muscles can get used to the sound. So, even naturally, there's like a sound coming out afterwards. So it's like you're contracting the larynx. It comes out. Don't be laughing at me. Don't laugh. It's not, these are learning purposes. So don't be laughing at me at home. And that is where the ain comes from. So we say ain. So we get that ain. I'm exaggerating. Then once you get used to it, you just very gently let the larynx here contract and say ain. You know, you just very gently touch it. A lot of people exaggerate with that ain. You just let it touch gently and then let go. Ain. You know, when we learn the word na'am, for example, na'am in Arabic means yes. I used to really, I'd be like, na'am, and I'm really, it's exaggeration. No one speaks like that. It's not exaggerated, right? In the Quran, it's emphasized more, but it's still not exaggerated though. Not it's given its rights, but it's not exaggerated. So anyway, ain. Next one, ghain. Ghain is what I used to. What helped me to learn ghain is like mouth, when you're gargling mouthwash. It's like a how you gargle mouthwash is like that is where the muscle is. It's the upper part of the throat, and it's like a gargling sound. I think in France they have a similar sound. That's where ghain is come from. Then you stop exaggerating and you say ghain. You just touch it and say ghain, or ghain, should I say ra? So it's a heavy ra, ghain. So ayn and ghain. Yes, in the beginning, don't get frustrated if you're struggling. You will need to practice, and do send in the recording so we can correct it as well. In the beginning, you just need to practice, but you will get used to it. Believe you me, you will. You just have to. You've never exercised these muscles in your throat. We don't have letters of the throat in the English language. Interesting fact, they actually used to be letters of the throat, like the word night, N-I-G-H-T. That G-H represented a letter of the throat. Was it similar to rein, like a neicht type of word? I can't remember exactly, but the point being, there were letters in the English language that were taken from the throat, and then it changed due to, I forgot his name now. He basically changed the pronunciation of the English language. Anyway, forget that. So ayn, ghain. Then after that we have fa. Fa, very easy. Fa is the front teeth here, just meeting with the bottom lip. Fa. We have that in English language. Very similar to the English language. Fa, fa, and then air comes out of the mouth. Fa. Right. Another letter that may be challenging in the beginning, but you will get used to is qaf. This letter qaf, it's similar to ka, like a ka sound, ka, but you just go back a little bit further back and say, instead of saying, it's like a ka, that's a ka sound. You say, really exaggerating right now. Qaf. So it's qa. So it's like, you have to be careful, guys, not to say calf. Calf. It's not a k. It's not calf. It's not a ka sound. It's a qa. Again, it's there in the throat. You're contracting it. Qa. Qaf. 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 So just repeat after me. Qaf. After that, so pay attention. Fa, one dot. Qaf, similar to fa. The head is similar, but you see here, this part is different. The tail is different. Qaf. Then we have kaf, easy. That's not k. Kaf, k, like a k sound. Kaf. 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 Then we have lam. 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 Lam is easy. Lam. L. Tip of the tongue. L. 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 Very similar to like how the L in English. When we say L. Like la la. Lily. Lily. L. Lam. 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 Just try and remember the shape. That's a lam. Then we have meme. Again, the E, make it very distinct. Meme. Don't say meme, me, e. It's not e sound, it's an E sound. You have to make it clear. Meme. Meme. Then we have noon. So look at that shape. So remember meme? Then noon. Look at that shape with one dot on the top. Look at that round shape with one dot. That's a noon. What I don't want to say here, especially from British students, is noon. Like a oo sound. It's not oo. It's not oo. It's a oo. Listen to the difference between oo and oo. Major difference between oo and oo. It's not noon. It's noon. Noon. So make it very oo sound. And that's why some speakers from other languages, they have a oo. We don't say ooh in England, especially. We say oo. It's very oo. It's a shoe. We don't say it's a shoe. We don't say, we say this is food. We don't say this is food, right? So I want you to just hear the difference in English so you can really tell the difference between how we say ooh in Arabic, right? So noon. Then this shape, I want you to just really concentrate on the shape. Quite easy. It's a ha. Ha. So notice here at the top here we had jim. Ha. This is a breathy ha. Now I could put brackets here. I could put brackets and just put breath. Just so you remember that this has more breath, right? That's like a breathy ha, ha, ha. As for this ha, it's like similar to hello. It's very ha, ha, ha. It's not ha. It's just ha, hello, like hello, ha, ha, ha. So be careful of putting breath here. There's no breath here, just ha, ha, ha. Next one, wow. Wow. Quite easy, like a w sound. Two lips come together. W. Wow. Wow. Not too hard. And then the last one, yeah. 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 So ha, wow, yeah. Wow, ha, yeah. Right. Now, what I'm going to do now, and obviously we have the transliteration here. I'm going to keep it here. However, in your PDF, there's no transliteration. So I want you to try your best to look at these letters. I'm going to read it once. We'll do it together. I just want you to repeat after me. So just mark that minute, wherever the minute is. Mark it and just know you can write it down. This is where we drill. So this is the drilling section. I want you to repeat after me. And then we will do it again. And I'll go slowly. And I want you to read in your book. Look at your book. Right? Look at your book. And try and guess the word before I say it without looking at transliteration. So you're going to look at your PDF or whatever, if you printed out the PDF, and just try and say the word before I actually say it. So let's go. Cool. So we have alif. Alif. So repeat after me. I'm going to say it twice. Ba. Ba. Ta. Ta. Tha. Tha. Jim. Jim. Ha. Ha. Kha. Kha. Dal. Dal. Dhal. Dhal. Ra. Ra. Zai. Zai. Sin. Sin. Sheen. Sheen. Sad. Sad. Dad. Dad. Ta. Ta. Dha. Dha. Ain. Ain. Ghain. Ghain. Fa. Fa. Qaf. Qaf. Kaf. Kaf. Lam. Lam. Mim. Mim. Nun. Nun. Ha. Ha. Wow. Wow. Ya. Ya. So you should have repeated that after me, right? Just go back to that point every time when you want to just practice after me. Now what I want you to do, is actually, I'm going to read this. I'm going to take away the transliteration now. And I want you, and you can pause the video first. If you want to pause the video and practice, that's fine. Right? If you want to pause the video, that's fine. But what I want to do now is I want you to actually look at that letter and try and guess it, right? Now, you may have to do this in sections, right? You know, I don't expect you to now have the whole alphabet memorized, right? But what you can do is do it line by line, right? So you can do it line by line. You can memorize one line, right? Once you've got this line locked, then go on to the next line. So I'm going to do line 1, right? So I'm going to say, so I want you to guess and then I'll say it, right? So from now. Alif. What's this one? Can you remember? Ba. Next one. Ta. Next one. Tha. Next one. Jim. Next one. Ha. Kha. What's this one? Dal. What's this one? Dhal. Ra. Zai. Sin. Shin. Sad. Dad. Ta. Dha. Ain. Ghain. Fa. Qaf. Kaf. Lam. Mim. Noon. Ha. Wow. Ya. So I'm actually going to this section here. I'm actually going to put an audio of this section here. Just that part where I was reading. I'll put the audio also. You'll see the audio underneath. So you can just play the audio on its own. Just that section, you can just keep repeating after me and just keep going through that audio. Just have it on repeat and go through that audio. Yeah, and you could just start line by line. Yeah, just start line by line, right? So I'll do one more time. This time I'll shout the line 1, line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So line 1, Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim. Line 2, Ha, Kha, Dal, Dhal, Ra. Line 3, Zai, Sin, Shin, Sad, Dad. Line 4, Ta, Dha, Ain, Ghain, Fa. Line 5, Qaf, Kaf, Lam, Mim, Noon. Line 6, Ha, Wow, Ya. So alhamdulillah, that was the alphabet. All I want you to do is really practice line by line. Just take it step by step. Practice. The audio is going to be there, so you can just repeat after the audio. You can play this video more than once. The main thing is you master the alphabet. You have to be able to read through the whole alphabet without looking at that little transliteration. So just do it, take it line by line, or take it shapes by shape, like the ba, ta, tha together, jim, ha, kha together. And once you've done that, just send in your recording. Send in your recording.